Ever since the beginning of the time skip, there was an interesting lore that Oda sort of gave us, and that was Zoro. When we first saw Zoro after the time skip, we realized that there was an eye missing or a scar on his left eye. But throughout the time, there seemed to be a lot of lore and interesting things coming up in theories as well about his left eye. And no one ever assumed that it would be connected back to Ryuma. In the most recent chapters, we got a little information about the connection that Zoro may have, and that is him being the descendant of Ryuma. Guys, today we are going to be talking about Zoro's possible father, as well as the connection between Zoro and Ryuma. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, please like and subscribe. It will really help me out and I would really appreciate it. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can always be notified on when I drop new videos. But let's get on to the video. In chapter 1023 as well as 1024, it seems like Oda is giving us information on the lineage of Zoro. Now, how does Zoro sort of connect back to Wano and Ryuma? Well, I believe there's two possibilities that may happen or that had happened in the past. And I'm going to be sort of explaining you what those two possibilities are, as well as what it could possibly lead to. Now, both of these possibilities are based on Zoro actually being born in Wano. And before I get into those possibilities, the reason why I believe Wano is Zoro's birthplace is because of the amount of connection that he has to Ushimaru as well as Ryuma. Besides that, there is a certain thing that a lot of mangakas tend to do, and that is to draw certain characters so they can differentiate each character. But since the beginning of when Zoro and Sanji sort of met, Sanji always called Zoro Mosshead, and he always came at Zoro's hair color. And we all know that Oda likes taking the smallest things and creating it to something bigger. Well, this something bigger that I think that is Zoro being connected to Wano. A lot of characters in Wano that we've seen so far has had different sort of hair color. And it seems like that's something that's specifically unique to Wano. And I feel like that is sort of why Zoro is born or was born in Wano. Besides the whole possibility of him being connected to Ushimaru as well as Ryuma, I feel like Oda was always giving us a hint that Zoro was never born in the East Blue. Now let's go on to the first possibility. The first possibility is Ushimaru being Zoro's father. But in the cave, we see three samurais that are possibly the daimos of each of every one of Wano's provinces or lands. And there's a specific guy who may be or may not be Ushimaru Shimotsuki. And that guy is sort of resembling Zoro. Now, in this first possibility, I believe that Ushimaru, or the person that was in that cave, may be Zoro's father, and he had his family sent to go to the East Blue. But I also feel like Ushimaru, the reason why Oda sort of showed us that Ushimaru sort of wanted to break free is because he was the only one out of the three daimos, or those three samurais, that managed to escape. And that is something that I feel like Oda is sort of hinting to. That samurai, probably not the other two samurais, but that main samurai is the one that sort of escaped. And I was sort of looking into the wording or the wordplay that Oda sort of set for Ushimaru, and it says that that samurai that was in the cave, he said that I am so and so, which I looked up in what that would possibly mean in Japanese. And it means mada, means not yet in English. So I feel like Oda is telling us it's not yet going to be mentioned, but this is Zoro's father, and he managed to escape. Now, our second possibility, or my second possibility, is that instead of Ushimaru literally dying or not dying while he was escaping the cave, I believe that he sent his wife prior to Kaido, or the raid on Kaido, so she can go to the East Blue and she can sort of raise Zoro out of Wano because he knew that Wano will fall. If this is a possibility, well, I feel like that is the only way that he can be, or Zoro could be part of Wano. And the reason why I think Zoro is part of Wano, or possibly the lineage of Ushimaru, is because it was mentioned in 1024 that Zoro highly resembled Ushimaru, as well as having the same one-eye scar as Ryuma. Which means that Wano is the birthplace of Zoro. Now let's talk about the connection between Ryuma and Zoro. I was really hoping that Zoro was just a extremely good character, an extremely good sword fighter, and really didn't have any sort of connection to Wano. But at the same time, I figured that this would be the only possibility that he could be connected to Wano after his fight with Ryuma. And the reason being is because once they mentioned Ryuma being the sword god and Ushimaru being an extremely good swordsman, I figured that there is something that Zoro would need to have, and that is the blood of a sword god. I will be doing another video about the definition, or what a sword god could possibly be. And I feel like that's going to tie in to one of the warlords we know and love, Mihawk, as Ryuma and Zoro. But let's get back to the topic with Ryuma and Zoro. When we first saw Ryuma and Zoro, they fought, and we sort of could see there was a similarity. Besides that, in one of Oda's one-shot manga, Wanted, it was sort of shown that Ryuma was sort of connected or highly resembled Zoro. It was always hinted at that Zoro had a huge connection to Ryuma. One of the main things in One Piece is the connection of will and reincarnation. And I feel like Ryuma was deemed a sword god based on his spirit and something else, and Zoro was the reincarnation or a spirit of Ryuma. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people wouldn't like the whole entire reincarnation, the same thing that happened to Naruto in the story of Naruto, but I feel like that's one of the things that Oda is highly hinting to, that there is a reincarnation of Joy Boy, there is a reincarnation of Ryuma, and we're going to get a lot more answers within the next few chapters, and it's going to be extremely exciting. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said before, please like and subscribe and put on the notification bell so you can be warned or notified when I drop new videos. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next One Piece video.